Today is not just another day. It's a new opportunity, a new chance, a new beginning. Embrace it. A very good morning to all the parents, principal, coordinator, my colleagues and our lovely students. Before we begin, may I request to all of you to put your mobile phones in silent mode. Thank you. Today is the day for our students and their parents to know about their new journey and build their future from here. We know that Orientation Day is a special and much awaited event in every student and their parents' life, as it is a celebration of their achievements and upcoming journey. I, Upasana Sharma, on behalf of SWS team, welcome you all on this orientation program. Before we proceed, I request all the parents to mark their attendance in case they have missed the same. If you light a lamp for somebody, it will also brighten your path. So light up the lamp of positivity and walk the miles with courage. So let's start our day with lamp lighting. I would like to invite a worthy principal and senior wing coordinator to light the lamp. Class teachers are requested to join, please. I would like to request a few parents to please join the ceremony. About curriculum and the proceeding for the session 2023-24.
A lovely good morning, a lovely rainy good morning to one and all present here. And good morning. And it's really a privilege and an honor to thank you parents to take up time from your busy schedules and reach out here and of course talk to us about our children. And we are very happy to welcome your children from our junior wing to the senior wing. They were the senior most class of the junior wing, but now they are junior most class of the senior wing. So this is quite interesting because they have started feeling कि हम बड़े हो गए हैं. Now we will tell them कि छोटे हो जाओ wait. So you need to listen. So this is an interesting transformation from junior to the senior wing. So anyhow, I, on behalf of our principal, our vice principal, she's not here right now, she's out of country for some time, and of course our wonderful teaching staff, welcome you all to this orientation program, and of course welcome your children to be our children in the senior wing now, and I'm sure that we are going to have great fun. So let's start with a few things that we all need to be familiar with. This is something which we all know. So these are the stalwarts of our Smart Wonder School, our director Mr. Sandeep Singh, and of course our principal Ms. Poonamjeet Kaur, who are the epitomes of strength and guidance for each one of us and keep on motivating us to move on ahead with all the challenges that come on our way. So the senior wing leadership team is headed by our vice principal, Ms. Rana Chona. As I told you earlier, she is not here right now. She will be joining us soon, within a few days. And that is of course the senior wing coordinator, Dr. Paul Marcus. I'm talking to you right now. Next one. Yeah, so let's start with the vision of the school. We at SWS believe in the holistic development of the young minds, and the school offers exciting challenges and opportunities for parents, teachers and students to come together, grow and learn together, and of course achieve those 3 C's that we always claim. that is confident, competent and caring. So we put all the efforts into our entire planning on the basis of our mission. So let us share with you a few glimpses of our journey through 2022-23 as we had come to our offline regular school after 2 years of the COVID pandemic scenario, which the duration was actually not liked by everyone. And of course our children also suffered during that time. So this year we tried a lot many things to make our students to come back to the regular feel of the regular offline schools. So the session started with Sukhmani Sahib Path, and it was organized in the school premises with the pious intention of seeking the blessings from the Almighty to welcome the session and sail through it. Directors Mr. Sandeep Singh and Ms. Avinash Kaur, Principal Ms. Poonamjeet Kaur and all the staff members thanked the Almighty for His blessings and prayed for everyone's good health, especially after those 2 traumatic years. So it was a great honor for us as our class 10 children did great wonders. A total of 70 students appeared for the exams with 23 scoring more than 90% in their class 10 board examination. Navya Chaudhary topped the school with 97.8%, Gauri Gupta and Prableen Gaur with 97.4%, Ineshwar Singh Khurana in the 3rd position with 97%, followed by Manveer Singh with 96.8%. So this was one of the best results of our children. The orientation programs were conducted in the offline mode so that we could talk to our children, we can get familiar with the parents once again and leave that online thing and move to the offline regular schools. We had award ceremony for our toppers, those who had done exceptionally well in their academics for all the classes. And we had bagless days for our children. The purpose of bagless days is basically it's not that we want them to waste their time or something, no. But yes, we do plan our activities and do a lot of things in a way so that children get a day off their heavy bags on their shoulders. And of course, they enjoy the activities that we try to provide them for their experiential learning. And of course, we focus on learning by doing. So that is, we plan the days accordingly. Class shows were done for all the classes. And believe me, it was a great success as all the classes performed wonderfully in their own way. Let's move on to the guidelines, the rules that we will be following. So these guidelines will be about school timings, arrival and dispersal, the pick and drop, proper uniform, rules and regulations while in school, the new education policy which focuses on the skill subjects, and the school examination CBSE guidelines as the children have now entered into the senior wing. So we need to be very particular about the CBSE scenario. So let's begin with the school timings. So about the school timings, Monday to Friday, the school timings will be 8 a.m. to 2:50 p.m. and attendance will be marked in the classrooms from 8 to 8:05 a.m. So you are kindly requested to drop your child within proper time. In case the child is a pickup and a drop child, then kindly be sure about the time at which you drop your child in the school. Students are expected to reach school at least 10 minutes before the starting time of the classes. Avoid sending your ward to school much before the starting time. Drop the child at gate number 1 and pick up from the same gate. And parents to carry their ID card when they come to pick up their ward. The reason for telling you that do not drop your child too early is because the reporting time to teachers is 7:45. So still no doubt there are bhaiyas and didis, those who are standing there and taking care of your children, but still to be on safer side, it will be appreciable if you drop your ward after 7:45 or 7:50, something like that, so that it's not too early for the child also to be sitting outside and waiting for the right time to come and move in. Because inside the building is not having the presence of the teachers, and at any point of time we do not want our children to be alone. We are not supposed to leave them alone. So this is one of the reasons we request you to drop your ward at the right time in schools. And dispersal, as usually we do, will be conducted from the front lawn and the basketball court. Students must be picked up punctually at 2:50 p.m. And from this year onwards, we are going to have the zero tolerance towards the latecomers to school and children in the incorrect uniform. So kindly be alert about it that your ward has to reach school on time, and of course has to be very particular about the uniform that they wear. So accordingly we have made certain changes in the uniforms also. I think you must all be aware by now. So the things are made very pretty simple and easy now, so that similar kind of pattern is followed almost every day except one day, that is Friday. So kindly be particular about your ward's uniform. Like for boys and girls, we have Monday to Thursday. For boys, it will be denim shirts, denim jeans, light blue t-shirt with school logo, and of course navy blue patka for the Sikh boys. And navy blue turban is compulsory from class 8 onwards. White sports socks with dark blue striped school belt, and black sports shoes. Now interestingly, there are only one kind of shoes across Monday to Saturday. All the children will be wearing the same shoes on all the days of the week, so that there is no confusion. And the shoes now are pretty comfortable, so that the children can be playing, attending their classes also, as well as can be having their sports periods or PT periods with the similar shoes. So they do not need to carry any pair of extra shoes with them to be worn during sports period, except in some particular cases where some specific match is planned, or if it is instructed by the sports teacher, then the scenario is different. But otherwise, children will not be carrying any kind of sports shoes to their schools for wearing it during the PT period. So kindly help your ward to reduce the weight of the bag. And of course, for girls it will be denim jeans, light blue t-shirt with school logo, navy blue ribbons, black clips, white sports socks with dark blue stripes, and black sports shoes. This is uniform which is to be followed from Monday to Thursday, and only on Friday house uniform is to be worn, which is house t-shirt, half sleeves with school blue track pants and black sports shoes. So shoes is not a problem now. I think it's a blessing for all of us now, and the uniform remains to be followed very strictly by all the parents and all the children. Okay, now this is something which we need to take care, please. Fancy hairbands, nail polish are not allowed in the school for children, please. Fancy jewelry and earrings are not allowed. Girls have to tie long hair in a plait. Please be particular about it. Either the girl should be having short hair, and otherwise the hair need to be plaited properly. Girls have to tie long hair in a plait. Pony with long open hair is not allowed. And smart watches and bands are not allowed. Kindly be particular about that. If your ward is having smart watches, MI bands, which I think almost all the children are having nowadays, the child can wear after the school. We do not have a problem. But the child will not be wearing any such thing within the school premises. Because they'll say कि वो ये connected नहीं है, इससे कुछ नहीं होता, इसमें game नहीं है, XYZ, they know how to do what. And they are much more smarter than us. So let's not do any such thing which is going to distract a child. Because if one child is having one particular hidden game under some apps inside the watch, it is enough for the entire class to get distracted and get involved into it. So then we'll ask the child, why are you wearing such unnecessary chaos we create? So let's not do it. Kindly ensure and check your ward when the child is leaving the school. Believe me, children are so smart. They do not wear it when they are leaving the home. They keep it in their bag and wear it in the buses. So they are much more smarter than us. As they come to know the coordinator is coming or the class teacher is going to check, they quickly remove it and keep it inside the bag. They are very smart. So let's try to make them understand that this is not the right time to do it. Now let's move on with the few more rules and regulations that we need to follow. Proper timetable will be followed for all the classes, and activities will be followed as per the calendar. Zero period we'll be having zero period in the morning, which will be including the PAs, the assembly, enrichment activities, and house activities. As you all know, this year we have begun again with our enrichment activities, which will be held on 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday. And of course, our children will be involved in multiple activities with a lot of fun and interest, and of course, there will be a lot of learning amongst our children. Students must carry textbooks, notebooks according to the given timetable. Written work to be done and submitted regularly, and homework will be shared via school part only. Now the children are grown up in this sense that, of course, the homework will be shared with you through school part. But yes, what we need to be very particular about is teach our children to note down their homework in their diaries when the teacher is telling them to do. Because now, in a way, they are in the senior school. Right? They are in class 6, so they have really grown to that level. At least they can listen to the instructions and follow. Yes, in case of any problem, we are always there to help. But yes, please guide your wards to write down the homeworks in their diaries also. The teachers will be doing it, of course. Teachers will be asking the children to note down the homework properly. They will say that. But still, in case of any problem or anything, kindly contact the school authorities. We are there to help you out with any problem. Please do not wait till PTM so that the problem arises to the maximum extent and then we are in trouble at how to solve the issue. Do not wait for 2 months for that particular thing. In case your ward is feeling any problem, kindly contact at the desk, front desk, and of course, we are there to help. We will give you an appointment whenever you want, preferably on Saturdays because the teachers are not teaching on those days. So we'll be having one-to-one interaction with you and of course talking to you about whatever it is. But it's a request, do not wait till the end, till PTM so that we'll go on PTM and then share your concern. So PTM is a day when actually you do not have that much of time and even there are too many parents waiting, so sometimes we do miss on those things. So let's not wait for that day, and moreover by that time the problem will get aggravated. So whatever the issue the child is facing, kindly tell us immediately so that we can try to help you out as early as possible. And then of course, the homework schedule will be shared. To avoid heavy bags, parents are requested to ensure their ward carries books and notebooks as per the timetable. So we are also trying to, lighten the weight of the bags of our children. We are trying to share soft copies of books on the board also. But the point is that like the children are in 6th. For example, if they are having their textbook in front of them, so it's easy for them to relate and understand that on which page ma'am is telling which question or which part to be underlined or which. That is the reason we ask them to bring the books. Otherwise, we don't have a problem. Books can be shared on the smart boards also. But this might be a learning gap for many children because many children understand when they see their books as well as listen to the teacher. So let's check the bags of our children. They should be carrying a minimal pouch. Believe me, when we do bag checking, we find 3 kinds of pouches in the bag. One pouch, big pouch with colors, one big pouch with pens, pencils, and most fancy pouches. I think the weight of the pouch is pretty good. So then naturally these things, then of course the child is having 2 tiffins. One for the food tiffin, another for the bigger tiffin, and the tiffins are too fancy with very attractive looks. And of course water bottle. So other than the books, what comprises the bag weight are these things. But these are the things which we cannot force the child not to bring to the school. Of course, we have been doing random bag checkings throughout the year. We have been seeing their bags, what are they actually bringing. Believe us, you can't believe what they put in their bags because the parents are not aware. They are carrying their personal diaries to school, where they are writing XYZ stories. Whatever their stories are, the stories might be anything, they are not bothered about it. The point is, the diary should be at home, not in the bag in the school. And then one fancy diary with a teddy bear on the front cover, and the entire class is excited about teddy bear, and the teacher is howling, listen to me, listen to me, you need to. So these are the simple things which we as parents have control at home, and of course check the bags of our children will make the things much more easier. The bag weights will be lightened, and of course it will contribute towards the better discipline in the classroom also. So those things are often taken, and then the parent is informed that ma'am please or sir please do not allow your ward to bring such things in the school. So these are very simple things. If we take strict action for it right in the beginning, the children will not develop a habit of bringing such things to school. So this needs to be monitored at home as well as in school. We'll be doing back checking. The back checking of boys is done by boys members or a male teacher, and of course the bags of girls are checked by females only. These are the girl students, the council members, or otherwise the teachers. But we'll be doing it, and whatever found extra, we'll confiscate here in the school. So tell this to your wards that if you bring anything interesting in school, ma'am will keep it. Ma'am will play with the cards, no problem. We have found Pokemon cards in the bags. I don't know what. So let's try to, make our children understand that they need to be very particular about the things that they carry to school, as they also contribute to bag weight. So ensure that your ward attends remedial classes as and when required. In case the child is weak in any particular subject or needs extra guidance or support, we are there to provide the remedial classes also. Kindly do not approach the staff members for extra coaching or tuitions. No informal groups to be created, please. And communication via school parent. We will be giving you communication via school parent. All parents are requested to download the app. I think by now all of you must be having it on your phones. Parents can write a mail to school for any grievance. They can meet the vice principal or principal with prior appointment. Parents can meet the teacher's counselor on any Saturday with a prior appointment. So we are there to help you out at every level only if you tell us what your concern is. Kindly send a diary note in case of any appointment with the educator or any other important message to be conveyed to the class in charge or vice principal. But please, the message should not be like that. Instead of this bus number, send my what to from this bus number. So it's a kind request. This is not right for the safety of the child. We might be getting a note as per your convenience, as per parents' convenience, that my what will go by this bus today. But this is not right on that part. So we do not permit such things to the school. So kindly do not send such messages to us that let my child go with this bus or let my child go with this parent or this one. Because we know you as the legal parent of the child. And we would like to hand over your child to you only. The library books will be issued for a period of 1 week. And in case of delay, of course, we will be putting up a fine. This is done just to make your child understand that there are certain rules and regulations that we all are supposed to follow. And we should do that. Children must develop respect for the school property. Any kind of damage to the school property will have to be compensated. Children should be discouraged from using the social media for uploading any information. Cyber safety protocols to be followed. This last point was the most interesting point. Our children, interestingly, you all must have heard during the COVID times, the thing we used to avoid our children to give before that, we gave that thing in their hands, mobile phones. And in these 2 years, they have become so used to it that now they know much more than us. And they are using it or misusing it in any way they want. They are rather more proactive on social media than us. And trust me, we have cases where parents don't have any idea what their child is uploading on any social platform. So kindly be very careful, very particular about it. Honestly speaking, your children now do not need phones. Actually, they do not need phones. They want phones, that is something else. Now we have totally come back to offline things and there is no homework shared on online way. It's put on school pad, the printout can be taken or it can be checked on the system of the homes, wherever your PCs or laptops are there. But yes, kindly guide your word and have a strict monitoring of the kind of using they are doing with social or kind of things they are doing on the social media. Because believe me, we don't have an idea what they access, what they do and what they upload. So we all need to be very vigilant about it because we need to help our children to understand what is right and what is wrong. Then we need to bring healthy food in lunch box with clean napkins. So regarding this, it's a kind request to all the parents, please do not send junk foods Monday to Thursday. We would prefer and we would permit the junk food, burgers or pizzas or whatever they eat, pastas, preferably only on Fridays. Monday to Thursday, please give them a parathi and sabzi, they will eat in the class, believe me. When they are hungry, when they sit with their friends, they eat everything. Then they share and eat in a very nice way. But to you, they'll say at home, "Mujhe ye nahi khana, main ye nahi khaunga, main ye nahi khaungi." They do that. But kindly make your child understand and let's motivate them to bring their junk food only on one day, that is Friday. Friday they can bring anything that they want. Believe me, I have been a villain throughout the year. Last year, I was the person where children used to run away from me. कि आगे फिर से tiffin check करेंगे हमारे हम क्या लाए. So then they used to tell me, "Ma'am, this is organic pasta." My mom has made it at home, so I can eat it. So this is how they cook up their own stories. Or organic pasta might be there. I'm not sure about them because I'm not a pasta person. But yes, mom has made it at home. This is not. So this is where I could understand that the child is very smart. But yes, if the child has already brought the tiffin, then we cannot do anything. So you as parents, kindly make your words understand the same. Of course, we'll be providing the canteen facility in the school also. So that they will be shared with you in a short while. And of course, refer to the school almanac for rules and regulations to be followed. Now we come to bullying. So this is a bully-free, safe school zone where we do not permit any kind of bullying, any physical, verbal, any kind of terminology that we use, any kind of actions that we do, we are answerable for that. So we kindly request you to counsel your child regarding the same, that neither we have to bully someone, nor we have to get bullied by someone. If someone is doing something wrong, then the situation or the issue has to be reported. And we can of course take an action only when it is reported. So here in the school we have a proper procedure for the same. The student can approach any one person, either the class teacher or the counselor or the coordinator or the VP senior wing or the principal. No problem at all. We are happy to help the child. Whomsoever the child is comfortable with, the child can approach. The first level is usually the class teacher. The child goes to the class teacher because they have that kind of bond or connect where the child feels safe and comfortable with the class teacher. The child can go and talk to the class teacher, no problem at all. Right? So any of the options are open. Then of course we discuss the issue with the counselor, as we have our counselor with us. So our counselor, Ms. Mandeep, helps us and guides us accordingly because she has expertise in her own field. And then of course we have a follow-up with the vice principal as well as with the child, and then the entire issue is of course discussed with the principal of the school. So we have a proper follow-up for the same, and we here in the school work a lot and do every bit whatever is possible from our side to make the place comfortable and happy place for our children. So we have a lot of committees which are working here in the school for the betterment. So this is just a brief outlook of them. Like the school safety committee focuses on whatever is happening in the school till from the time the child enters the school until the child at the time the child leaves the school. Everything has to be safe for the child. So we plan everything accordingly. Then we have the arrival and dispersal committee and the safe Vahan committee, which basically deals with the bus routes and of course the transportation and the arrival of the children in the school and the way they get dispersed. It should be a safe procedure and a safe way out for everything. Then we have academic core committee where we all work together for the better opportunities for the academic improvement in our children. So whatever is the scope, whatever possibility we feel that can be added on, we of course do our every bit into it. The bullying committee, as it has been already discussed with you, that we do have an anti-bullying procedure in the school and there is total zero tolerance towards bullying in school. Advocacy committee, inclusion committee, activity committee. The activity committee focuses on all the kinds of various activities that we plan for our children throughout the year. Like as this year, you must be aware that we will be having our annual show also, and of course our sports day events also, and a number of activities we are planning for their overall development. And of course the grievance committee on child sexual abuse, so that any kind of grievance can be addressed in a nice way. Now the NEP 2020 brings us to the need of skill-based approach in the schools. So now since the child has moved from class 5 to class 6, this needs to be very clear to you that all activities done in the school, music, sports, IT, will have an element of skill progression. That means we will be assessing the progress of the child. Of course, the child is not knowing all the things completely as the current scenario. But yes, throughout the year, as the classes are going on, as the teachers are teaching them, as they are going through various activities, we will be assessing them that what is the pace of their learning. And then the skill subjects introduced for them will be coding or financial literacy. This is something which you have already filled in. So this is just an add-on skill-based subject which we are teaching to the children so that they acquire some new kind of information. Coding is of course related to the computers, and financial literacy is more or less related to the financial awareness in the market. Next one please. And then now we are talking about a lot of enrichment activities. So these are the set of activities which we are planning for Wednesdays and Thursdays. And of course we will be starting with these activities in this month itself. For first Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be having a run through so that the children come to know that where they are supposed to go and how they are supposed to perform for their activities. What are this? So the things will take time because the activity people, there are many activity people who are coming from outside to train our children, and there are many teachers who are already with us. They'll be helping us to provide exposure to our children. So we are there to help you out, but yes, these things will take at least 2 weeks time for us to settle down with the children and children also to acquire and learn. The areas of assessment are scholastic as well as co-scholastic. Scholastic will be regarding all the subjects, that is English, Hindi, Maths, Science, Social Science, Punjabi or French, which will be their third language, and coding, financial literacy, marketing, AI or mass media, whatever they are opting, like class 6 has been provided with coding and financial literacy as their skill subject. So this is about the examination. The term 1 examination will be of 80 marks. And when we talk of internal, that will be of 20 marks. So the periodic test will comprise of 5 marks weightage. We'll be having only one PA for them. Multiple assessments will again count on for 5 marks. Subject enrichment activities for 5 marks. And notebooks for 5 marks. So this will add up to 100. Similarly, for term 2 again, we have a similar pattern. Periodic test 2. So that means basically we are going to have 2 PAs this time, PA1 in the first term and PA2 in the second term. Because there was a concern amongst the parents also that too much of testing is getting our children tired. So we have, in a way, we'll be having a lot of class tests that we'll be taking. We'll be doing random checking of the children also, regular questioning in the classes, and of course little class tests will also be conducted. But that will be on the part of subject teacher as and when required. And of course the children will be informed. So now we move on to the co-scholastic part. Co-scholastic part is about the discipline, the art education, that is the visual and performing arts, and health and physical education, that is sports and yoga. So whatever activity the child is doing in the school is assessed. Whichever class the child is attending, it's not irrelevant. It has some relevance to his or her performance in the school, and of course the academic or the non-academic, the co-scholastic improvement in various activities. So components of internal assessment is multiple assessments, which we are saying that we will be having 5 marks from them. There are multiple kinds of activities that can be planned by the teacher as per the requirement of the subject. For instance, observation, oral test, individual or group work activities, class discussion, field work, concept maps, graphic organizers, visual representation, crossword activity, multiple choice questions, any such kind of activity can be done by the teacher as and when required. Then the subject enrichment activities for 5 marks. For languages, we have all the 4 skills: reading, writing, speaking and listening. For maths, we have hands-on activities, paper cutting activities, maths lab activities, small experiments, making 3D models, basically arousing their curiosity in the subject so that they use their own ideas to make anything. Science, hands-on activities, science lab activities and 3D models. For social science, we have math work, project work related to art and culture and so on. The subjects have been mentioned separately so that you understand that yes, the activities will be planned as per the requirement of the subject. Notebook, of course, is very important for 5 marks. Regularity in submission of the notebooks. Assignment completion, whatever worksheets or whatever work is given to them should be completed on time. Notebook should be neat and upkeep of the notebook, timely submission and plagiarism. So originality will always be appreciated. The children are suggested to write their own answers or as guided by the teacher instead of copying it from anywhere. So these will be the components of the internal assessments. Periodic assessments, 5 marks, 1 periodic assessment in each term, PA1 and PA2 in term 1 and term 2. Now this is something important, the promotion policy, class 6 and 7. For students in class 6 and 7, it is required that they pass each subject with a minimum score of 33% in both the internal as well as final exams. So now the children are required to pass in every single subject with at least 33% marks, with the emphasis on the fact that they need to get 33% in internal assessment as well as in the final exams separately. If a student scores less than 33% in 1 or 2 subjects, then he or she will be given another chance to improve performance by appearing in pre-exam. Next one. So still, in case you are quite particular about your board's performance and you want to be aware about whatever changes the CBSE is making as and when required, so these are the websites for the reference. So kindly do not approach any local sites or any other sites because the information provided in any of the sites is not appropriate. So in case you wish to refer something, refer anything about any subject or anything about the other further higher classes also, kindly refer to these CBSE sites only. Next one. Thank you so much for listening to me for so long. So one thing only I would like to add in the end is, which is very, very important and which is we have mentioned in the slide, is make a connect with your child. That is very no other thing can replace this bond or this connect with your word, which is really very important for your child as well as you. So that you know that whenever your child is facing a problem, the child will come to you. The child will have that faith on you that yes, my mama is there or my papa is there, whosoever is comfortable with the word, no problem. So that the child have that faith that if I do anything wrong, I can go and confess to my parent that I have done this wrong. This connect and this confidence on the parent is a must for a child. So this is what I would like to add on. Please connect with your child. And if you really connect, it will help in reducing the screen time of you as well as your word. So this is something we all need to work on as parents, because our children are doing what we are doing. Am I right? Our children do what we do. Wherever I am free as a parent, I pick up my phone. So this is the worst part, that I am teaching my child that whenever you are free, you can pick up your phone. So this is this will help us as well as our children to be better human beings and much more happier in lives. Thank you so much. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, ma'am. I teach because I'm still inspired by a great teacher I had when I was a kid. So I get that. What we do every single day truly matters. Now I would like to invite Ms. Narinderjeet Kaur, HOD IT, to come over the mic and introduce the educators.
Good morning all. Good morning. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah. Guru is verily the representative of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. He creates, sustains knowledge and destroys the weeds of ignorance. I salute such a guru. Dear parents, as we embark on a new academic year, I would like to introduce our team of educators who will be working with your child. Our team is made up of highly qualified and experienced educators who provide a nurturing, challenging learning environment for your child. Let me introduce the team. Class 6A class teacher, Miss Seema Rani. I will request the teachers to come on the stage. Subject teachers, English, Miss Gurleen Kaur. French duty taught by Miss Nami. She is not present in the school yet. Hindi, Miss Kamalji. Maths, Miss Seema. Science, Miss Gurleen Janeja. Social will be taken up by Miss Dimple Vadera. Please give them a huge round of applause. Class teacher of class 6B, Miss Dimple Vadera. Subject teachers, English, Miss Gurleen Kaur. Punjabi will be taken up by Miss Pushpinder Kaur. Hindi, Miss Kamalji Patel. Maths will be taken by Miss Upasna. Science, Miss Gurleen Janeja. Social by Dimple Vadera again. And class 6C, class teacher will be Miss Kamalji. English will be taken up by Miss Gurleen Kaur. Punjabi by Miss Pushpinder ma'am. Maths, Miss Upasna ma'am. Science, Miss Gurleen Janeja. And social science again by Dimple Vadera. Now let me introduce with the team of our activity teachers. Sports will be taken up by Mr. Chandra Prakash. Dance, Miss Manisha. Music by Mr. Reddy. He's not present today here. Art, Miss Hatrip. IT, Mr.
He is a person of distinct vision, a fountainhead of illuminating ideas, an idol of knowledge, experience, and inspiration for all of us. Let's welcome our worthy principal, Ms. Poonamji Kaur, to share her encouraging words with all of us.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Thank you for taking out the time to come and join us on such a beautiful day, as ma'am said. It is beautiful, and very soon you will be, going back and enjoying the weather, while our educators here prepare to make sure that the coming session is well planned, well organized, and we do not waste even a single day of the child. So as ma'am said that we are going to be doing a lot of things. As you can see, we got our enrichment activities back, and the little ones have come into the senior wing, so they'll also be starting with their skill subjects. So let me tell you that we would be the only school in the Tri-City which has introduced so many skill subjects. None of the other schools have introduced all these skill subjects which have been promoted by the NEP 2020. So last year we started, within a year we started, once the children go back, with a limited band of skills. However, as you know that every child is not the same. Not every child wants to do coding. Not every child might be good at commerce. So we have ensured that we give them a big, choice as to which skill subject, because this will help them when they are sitting for their boards. In case a child is not able to perform well in one of the other core subjects, then the marks of the skill subjects can be used for that. So that is for class 10. Right now we are not going to be doing that. Right now our aim is only to ensure that our children get enough skills. These skill subjects will help the children in the world outside. Be it coding, be it financial literacy, be it AI, all this is relevant, right? I attended a conference last year where Mr. Saha, who from the CBSE, who's in charge of all the new courses and everything that's happening from CBSE, he had a meeting with all the principals of the Tri-City. And one of the suggestions that had come out was that we can't hire a skill subject teacher because there are limited periods, and we can't afford to have a teacher who's going to be taking. And his suggestion and many principals' suggestion was, okay, so you collaborate. So 3 or 4 schools can start a skill subject and hire one teacher on rotation. Well, in this school, we have a teacher who's going to be teaching the skill subjects along with our IT teachers, and we are giving the whole gamut of skill subjects. I think the school deserves a big round of applause. It is important that we are able to provide the opportunities to the children. What the children do with that is later. So that is what our whole idea is. COVID happened. Of course, our priority was safety. We did not want outsiders to come into the school. So last year, we started with the clubs. They were internal clubs because we knew that all our teachers were vaccinated. All our teachers were safe to interact with the students, but we could not screen the outside people who would come to teach the children the different skills of the different activities. However, now that it is much safer, we have reintroduced our enrichment activities as well. Right? So that is why the children are going to be engaged every day from 8 to 9 on a Monday. Again, not every Monday. This is again coming from your feedback. A lot of parents would say, we can't go anywhere over the weekend. Our children do not get the time to play because every Monday is a Louder. PA. Yes, periodic assessment. We don't get the time. So we took a very conscious decision in December saying that instead of 4 rounds of PA, we will have 2 rounds of PA. 1 round in term 1 and 1 round in term 2 as has been explained by ma'am. Right? And of course, the continuous evaluation, the continuous assessment of learning for learning will happen in the classrooms. So that is happening. Now, Tuesday of course is the assembly. Again, building skills, communication, confidence, competence, all that is required. So we will continue with our assemblies on Tuesdays where we ensure that the children get an opportunity to perform. The other different thing that we've started this year is instead of looking at values every month, we are looking at the SDGs every month. So that's the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. Right? So the whole world is talking about it. That is the future of our children. We cannot say we are a smart school if we are not thinking about the future. Whatever we are doing right now, whatever resources that we are using, they are of our children's future. So if we just keep using, it's like in the bank, if we have some money, right? If we keep using but we do not put back anything or we do not use wisely, there will be nothing left for the future generations. And that is why we are going to make sure that our children are aware and working on these sustainable developments which have been divided into different months and part and parcel of our calendar and the activities. The e-calendar can be downloaded from the website. You will be able to see which sustainable development we will be looking at every month. Then comes the enrichment activities on Wednesday and a Thursday. Again, we have professionals coming from outside to teach these activities. Right? So these are professionals that we hire on an hourly basis to come and work with our children on the various activities that you have chosen. And of course, our own very talented activity staff. So each and every activity staff also teaches one enrichment activity for both the junior wing and the senior wing of their, whichever area they specialize in. So besides that, we come to Friday, where on Friday we have the house activities. It's very, very important for children to feel the sense of belonging, the sense of competition, healthy competition I must say. And that is where they are divided into groups. They have their house masters, mistresses, they have inter-house competitions. This helps them prepare for competitions outside because that is how the children learn how to prepare, how to present, how to participate. So we have various types. So it is performing arts, it is literary activities, it's sports. All three will be included in the house activities for the children. So this is the zero period from 8 to 9 and that is where the timing of 2:50 comes in. So if there is anyone who feels, oh, the time is very long, well, we are engaging the children. They are not just sitting, they are doing a lot of things so that you don't have to do that in the evenings, right? And of course, from 9 onwards, their regular classes start. We give them, a food break, a lunch break, as ma'am said, and the good thing is that we've got our cafe back. So happy mothers, happy children. I know that there are some times when we get up and we feel that I don't have the time or the energy to make something for my child. So believe me, our cafe will be providing nutritious food, good food, tasty food. So that is and it's like the lady makes it at home and then provides it here. All our old parents know about it. The children have been going there. And the best part is now that you are in the senior wing, you can actually go to the cafe and buy the stuff, right? What is the difference? When you were in the junior wing, what was the policy? Yes. So you had to buy, the parents had to buy the coupons and the DDs would get it. Again, because it is not safe for little children to be going outside to the canteen and handling money. So there are different policies. So yes, the children have grown up. Yes, we will give them a little more independence, but everything will be monitored. Financial literacy, going to the cafe, buying food. We have to relate our education to real life examples. That's what we are teaching the children. It's not theoretical. No knowledge that is theoretical is of any use to the children. So whatever we are doing, our teachers have been working. So I'm sure that the new ones must be wondering, where have we come? There is so much to study. Why were we not, told that this is how much you have to study to go to teach for a class of 40 minutes? Believe me, I know that they are thinking like that, but that is what it is. For us to go into the class for 40 minutes, we need to study for more than 4 hours. We need to prepare our lesson plans. We need to understand what is it that I want to teach the children and how am I going to teach it. Yes? So there is a lot of thought that needs to go in before the teacher steps into the classroom. Gone are those days where we just picked up whichever book that was lying in our staff room and walked in and said, "Achha bachcho, kholo book. Hum ye karte hain, wo karte hain." That's not done, because we need to ensure that the children are learning and learning relevant things. So that is why we here at Smart Wonder School invest in our teachers. That is our biggest investment. We spend time working with the teachers to ensure that they are ready to step into your classrooms, because the children are smart and they are open to learning. We can't shut that learning down. We have to get them to ask more, know more. We might not know all the answers, but we will ensure that we will find out and also get the children to ask. So please ensure that your children are attending every day. Like ma'am said, one thing that we are going to be focusing on this year is punctuality. So I don't want any parents to say, "Par pichle saal to aap log aane dete the, late bhi hota tha." We don't want children to be entering the school after 8:05 because it disturbs the other children. It creates a lot of administrative hassles. So try to leave, in case it's a private student, try to leave early so that you reach the school at 8. 8 to 8:05 is attendance. Thereafter, as you know, the children have to leave the classes. For the PA, they have to go to another class. For assembly, they have to come down. For enrichment activities, they have to go to another class. For house activity, they have to go to another venue. So what happens? Where does the safety of the child go? If the child is going to come at 8:10, who is going to mind that child? So my request to you is, please make sure that your children are in by 8, not a minute later. Are you with me?
Yes.
So do I have your promise that the children are going to be coming on time in the correct uniform?
Yes.
With lighter bags?
Yes. Definitely.
Thank you so much, parents. Thank you, teachers, for giving me the confidence to be standing here, promising the parents a wonderful, wonderful session. Thank you so much, Parul ma'am. So let me tell you, Parul ma'am is not well, yet she's here, standing and being a part of this, because that is what we do. That's the dedication. So almost, I think a day or 2 days back, she was hospitalized, yet she's here because this is important, this connect. So I really appreciate that, Parul ma'am. Thank you. That's the dedication of the team. Thank you, parents, for taking out the time, and I'm very proud and honored to be the principal of the school and leading this wonderful, wonderful team. Thank you, and all the beautiful children. So the little babies have graduated from class 5 to 6. Congratulations, all of you. You've done a wonderful job. Let's clap for the children. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable words. We are honored to have you amongst us. Being a real SWS student is about growing, changing, and helping each other. every one of you have earned this place here. May this new session take you on a remarkable journey of discovery. Congratulations and welcome. In case you have any query or any doubt, you can ask. If anyone is having any query, yes, please.
Morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. My child is an average child, but I still want each and every one of you to help me shape them. You know, now the kids are very furious. They get angry very fast. Their questions, if not answered properly, they shut down themselves. So I just want each and every one of you to focus more on writing as well. Because it's not nice that every time they have to come to me and ask, Mama, kuch aaya school pe? I don't know. I want the teachers to encourage or even appoint the monitors to check on these things, that written work in the diary should be there. As we all did, we all used to discuss also. आज ये homework मिला है, let's do it. या आज ये problem है, जाके मम्मा से share करनी है. If mama is not there, I have to inform her that this has to be done and brought to school. So it should not be between teachers and parents only. Proper works and workload should be given to a student, because I think that students of our times were much hardworking as compared to the students of now. Because of the technology and everything, they are very lousy now. They are depending so much on us. We are there, no matter what happens, but they should be discussing with themselves. ये date sheet मिला, hard copies should be given, if possible for you guys, that this information regarding the timing or the holidays or the rest part or anything is there, should be given. They should be having hard copies and discussing them amongst themselves, which will make them more independent and communicating more with the teachers if they don't understand anything. Because half part then I am doing, explaining, and I have the WhatsApp numbers of the teachers, I'll go and ask and discuss with her. I should not be that. It should be with the teacher, because then the teacher will know the child better. What skill he is liking, how I have to shape him, how I have to bring him up amongst the other students. That's what I would like.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, what I hear is that the children should be writing their homework, which is the policy. So, the teachers will ensure that the children are writing the homework according to the homework schedule. So, obviously, we do not give homework in every subject. So, there is a timetable that will be followed. Second, the homework is uploaded on the school pad, which can be downloaded, as ma'am said, either on the phone or on the computer, right? Second, the homework is also discussed in the classroom. So if I am the maths teacher and I am giving any homework, I will be writing it on the board and the children have to copy. Now, we are very clear that we want to make the children. So what you said is what we want.
The monitors or the end time they should be checking that they've written it or not, because they're very lousy, as I said.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am,
so first of all, I will not use that word ever. No child is lousy. Lazy maybe, not lousy. But what is important for us to understand, what you just said, if somebody else, like you are just giving your mother's role to a monitor, no. The child has to monitor himself. The teacher is there to guide. We check random books. So the class teachers need to check random diaries, and especially where we know a child might not be doing it. So that child's diary should be checked. However, we ensure that it's the child's responsibility to note down the homework, though the same will be uploaded on the school pad. You do not have to call any other parent. You do not, please parents, need to form any informal WhatsApp groups, because they create more problems than solve issues. And most important is, you do not need to call the teachers or send WhatsApp messages to them, because the teachers will not be having their mobiles with them in school, right? So, COVID is over. We are not dependent on WhatsApp groups. We are not going to be calling teachers or parents. If you need to ask anything, you will call the reception, and the reception will connect you to the coordinator or the vice principal or to me. any query that you have will be resolved in that manner. The teachers might not see your messages till 5, 6, 7 or 8 late at night, and I do not expect them to be looking at the phones to see what messages have come. You need to send a diary note. If you have anything that you want to tell the teacher, please write in your child's diary, because that the child has to tell the teacher. See, when the children are very small, so in the foundation years, it's the responsibility of the class teacher, the mother teacher, to take every diary in the morning and check if there's any message. But as we come to 3, 4, 5, the children tell the teacher that my mother or father has written a note. Then the teacher reads it. So all the children need to be told that they have to go to the teacher and tell that there's a note. So they will look at the note. If they can resolve it, they'll do it. If they can't, they'll escalate it to the coordinator, vice principal or me. Right? It is very, very important that we make the children independent, and that includes your child also and every child. Monitors are, leadership positions. So we are trying to instill leadership skills in the children where a responsibility is given to them and they're looking. But we want actually everyone to be able to do the needful. Was there a second part to it besides the homework, ma'am? You said something else
Yeah,
also.
it's like because of this, they'll have better communication with their teachers.
Yes.
Coming to
So,
them directly.
absolutely. So that is very, whatever information that is being sent to the parents. So let me tell you, when we sent you the circular for enrichment activities, we had proper training or proper workshop for them in the AV hall to explain to them what are these different skills or what are these enrichment activities. So the teachers first speak to the children so that the children are aware of what needs to be done, and then we send that information to the parents for the parents to take that decision. So everything is explained to the children. If supposing by any chance there is something unplanned going to happen the next day, the children are informed by the teachers. So the children know that. They need to pay attention in class, but it's the teacher's responsibility to ensure that the child understands, and then we communicate to the parents for their approvals, right, for their information. But we will work on that now. We'll make sure that the teachers need to connect. What was my mantra for the teacher this year? Smile, be kind, and connect. So that's the mantra for the teachers this year, ma'am. So connection is definitely already a part of it. So the teachers need to be kind. So that is where the children will not worry. Like as you were saying, why should the child come to me as a parent? Yes, we don't want that. If the child's problems or issues can be resolved by the teacher, that's what they need to do. So they will do it with a smile, with kindness, and they will connect with the children. If they don't, please come to me. Yes. Any other questions? And you can always, you know that you can always come and meet me, speak to me. If there are any doubts, any questions, you can come and meet me anytime and we can resolve them. There is no issue that cannot be resolved to a mutual understanding, right? Because we are all working for your children. We are all here because of your children. There's no other reason for us to be here. So the children are the focal point of the parents, the teachers and the management. We all are working for our children's benefit. So your feedback, your inputs are always welcome.
Ma'am, one question.
Yes.
What is this advocacy committee about?
The advocacy committee is where we look at all the various areas in which we are working towards improving the school. Whether it is connecting with our parents, whether it's connecting with other institutions, whether it's our website, whether it's our newsletter. Different ways in which we are talking about our school, advocating a school, advocacy, so promoting. So there are so many things that we do. The Google reviews that we ask from you. So that's again another thing. If we are encouraged, if we are doing well, so it's it's the opposite of a vicious cycle. It's a dominoes effect. We do more and more because we're getting a good feedback. So that's the advocacy committee. So all these committees are very much functional in the school. They are mandated by the CBSE. However, again, I think I can proudly say that this would be the only school where we have 14 fully functional, up-to-date committees working in different areas that a school needs. Every single committee. Yes, sir.
Can I have the mic?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that the school is going to focus on the skills subject a lot. And as a parents, I think it is a very new thing, whether it is a AI or many other subjects we are talking about it. And you mentioned very correctly that for the schools also, it's going to be a challenge then to find out the teachers who are going to be a subject teachers for all these subjects. So how equipped are we now in terms of teaching these subjects? Though it is a very initial thing to be taught to the students. But how do you feel this problem is going to be overcome, because it is relatively a very new subject for anybody and everybody to have?
So it is actually not. It's just that the finances are generally a constraint for most schools. So all the IT related subjects, whether it is coding, AI, are being done by our IT teachers. So they are already part of that, and they've also been going for the trainings of the CBSE. Second, the other subjects that are there are all commerce related, and we have our commerce person. So we've hired a teacher from the commerce background, which generally people do when they have 11th and 12th. So that is why we have hired the teachers with the kind of background that is needed for those subjects. Now last year, because we had already started, we did it in-house. We had the IT team, and we had a vice principal who's again from the commerce background, who took the sales and marketing, right? Because that is what is there in the commerce, and they are masters in their subjects. So that is why this year, because we decided to introduce even more, so we said we cannot tie down the vice principal because her responsibilities are on the administrative level. So we hired a teacher who will be able to take from the commerce background all these different subjects. And the best part is that the curriculum is very well curated, and it's there on the CBSE website, right? And our teachers also are going to be updating their, so the knowledge is already there, but how to implement it and ensure that it is relevant. So we will be having these industry visits. So if you're talking about financial literacy, if you're talking about banking, if you're talking about mass media, so anything relevant, any visit will be done to ensure that the children get to see the actual practical implementation and knowledge of what they're learning. So that is where the skill subject, and when I say the practical aspect of it, is going to be looked at.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
There'll be excursion trips and all also?
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. COVID is over. So our children will be going for their trips and tours. And of course, because we were very careful with the safety issues, you cannot take the children out to environment, and then as you know that different waves kept coming, then different flus kept coming, and at the end of the day we felt that we need to be safe than go for the excursions. And of course the parents have been able to do that. But this year we are back to our regular routine, and the children will be having. And again, so when we talk about, you were talking about send the hard copy. So ma'am, sustainable development, we are saving paper. And e-circulars 3 years back, before any of the schools did, right? Even before COVID, so it wasn't a COVID thing. Now, however, whenever we need your written permission, if a child has to go out, we do not send the child without your written permission. So for that, you will get the hard copies of the circulars, because we need your signatures on paper before we send the children anywhere. So only then do we send the hard copies. Otherwise, the e-circulars, they're on the e-pad, school pad, and you just need to download them. And of course, the children are informed about it.
Ma'am, I have a request to make.
Yes.
Actually, of course, now it's better and all, but I think still COVID and H3N2 and all those things are still in there, right?
Yes.
So I think we've been doing, or you have also been, sending notifications and all, but I have also still experienced personally, that even now, even if the kids are not well, running fever, they are still being sent to the school. So I don't know what more can be done to sensitize, because I have been at the receiving end many times. And school is one place from where kids catch the infection and then they get passed on to the family.
Because,
So if something
mothers
can be
keep on
done-
sending their children, they take just 1 day off or 2, but in actual, it takes 3-4 days to recover
Exactly.
for the child.
Absolutely. So
Absolutely.
if something can be done to reinforce that, it will be very helpful. Because just one example I'll give you. Like earlier this year, my daughter, she got infection from someone. One of her classmates had fever, still came to school. Within like a day, entire family was down and out. And I, of course, didn't send them for almost 7-8 days. I will be at home, get fully fine and all. But then I think still a lot of parents don't do that. So they might have constraints. But
Absolutely.
if something can be done around it, you know,
Absolutely.
just-
So,
that's important.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you. So that's our responsibility. Our responsibility as a parent to not only worry about our child but all the other children in the class. So when your child is unwell, that's what we say. Do not send the child even for 1 hour. A lot of parents want their children to go do their PA and come back. But it takes that 1 hour only for the child to spread the germs if it is infectious. So yes, there are constraints. Yes, you might be a nuclear family, but then everything that we are doing for our children. So if you have a job, you might have to take leave and stay at home to ensure that your child is safe, the child is recovering, because the child will definitely not recover in school where all the activities will continue and the child might spread whatever problem that the child might have. Right? So of course that's a request. We will, this thing, it's already there in the diary, ma'am. So dear parents, please go through the school almanac, cover to cover, read all the rules, because we can't, talk about every single rule. Some things we just expect that you would already know, but as ma'am said, yes, I think it needs to be reiterated. It's given. The number of days that you have to keep your child home also for the different problems that the child might be having, all that is given. And anyways, as a parent, go with your gut instinct. Know that if your child is unwell, the child needs rest, love, care, good food at home. So I think that needs to be done by the parents. Anything else? Thank you so much, ma'am, for bringing that up. So that's something that obviously, the parents have to do. It's our responsibility. We need to understand that.
And I personally don't mind, because I still send them, like both my daughters. But if possible, let the masks still be on for some time and the sanitizer still be carried.
Absolutely. So again, we can't enforce that.
Yeah.
However, it's our own personal responsibility as a parent of our own child and concern for other children. So we can send our children in masks if they are still not well. Right? Alright. Thank you. Yes, so I've already said that. There will be no groups. So broadcast messages, as it is earlier also, there were broadcasts where you could not, send back. So any emergency or any information that needs to be shared with you will be shared on the broadcast also. Otherwise, we will be using the school bag as in. Thank you so much, parents. Please proceed for a cup of tea, because I think the time for the next group is about to start. All right.